There is a presence in this apartment that is not me. It has the shape of him, but it is made of silence. It is a sculpture of absence carved from the air where he used to be, and it sits in the center of the living room, a monument of ice radiating a cold that has sunk into the floorboards, into the marrow of my bones. It has been 3 weeks. In the light of day, I can fight it. I build a fortress of sound against it, a desperate static shield of true crime podcasts and a television that screams into the void around the clock. But the night is its kingdom. After midnight, the silence wakes. It slips from its pedestal, a shadow moving through other shadows, and crawls into bed beside me. It presses its formless face to my spine and whispers a single, eternal truth. You are alone. The ritual begins around 1 a.m. I tell myself each night will be the one I break the spell, that I will simply listen to the sound of rain on a tin roof and drift into a dreamless place. But my body is a traitor. I am pulled from sleep by an invisible hand, my heart a frantic drum beating out a code of pure terror against my ribs. And the phone, a black mirror, is in my hand before my eyes are even fully open. My thumb, a ghost with its own memory, bypasses the shallow grief of Instagram. It goes to a place far more sacred and profane. A shared Google Doc, a relic of a dead faith, called the map. It was the scripture of our future. See the auroras from a glass igloo, eat street tacos under a Mexico City moon, find the hidden waterfall in Oregon. A blueprint for a city that has been turned to dust. I open it, and the cursor blinks like a faint, lonely heartbeat where he last was. The first incision? Then my thumb slides to the version history, a digital seance. And there he is, a phantom in the machine. Last edit, Daniel, 2 days ago. He has performed an excision. He deleted the line. Rent a canal boat in Amsterdam. Our first anniversary. Gone. A red line drawn through the memory, a scar on the screen. He is not just gone. He is an archaeologist of our past, carefully, methodically erasing us. I can see him, a phantom projection on the wall of my mind, telling a new woman about the canals, and she's smiling, and he's deciding that the dream was never ours. It's hers now. I am a specter haunting the excavated ruins of my own life. Tonight, the silence is heavier. The cold has teeth. The red line on the map feels like a personal violation. And I do the one thing I swore I wouldn't. The final unconditional surrender. I open our text thread, a mausoleum of pixels. I scroll up past the sterile logistics of the key exchange, past the final brutal paragraphs that were the autopsy of us. I scroll until I find the ghost artifact. A photo of a tiny carved wooden bird from a flea market. His reply is still there, glowing in the dark. It's us. Small and weird and perfect. A sound rips from my throat. A tectonic groan from the fault line in my soul. And that is the moment I shatter. My heart is a bird. A real one this time, trapped in the cage of my chest, beating its wings bloody against my bones. A cold sweat slicks my palms. Some small rational pilot in the back of my skull is screaming, "This is the point of no return. This is where you lose yourself completely." But the silence in the room has become a physical pressure, a weight on my chest, and I think one word from him might be enough to make it lift. My fingers tremble so violently I can barely type the prayer. Did you take the little wooden bird? So small, so pathetic. A single, fragile line cast into an abyss hoping for a snag. My thumb hovers over the send button. It is not a button. It is a trigger. I squeeze my eyes shut, see an explosion of stars behind my lids, and I press it. The blue bubble appears. Delivered. A tombstone. The regret is a full-body seizure. It starts in my toes and sets my scalp alight. What have I done? I just carved out a piece of my own screaming heart and served it to him on a platter. The silence in the room changes. It's no longer just an absence. It is charged, judgmental. It is the silence of being watched. My eyes burn into the screen, begging for the 3 little dots, for a pulse, a sign of life. And then for one soul-stopping second, they appear. A flicker, a ghost. He's typing. My breath catches in my throat. He's typing. And then they vanish. The silence that follows is the final death. The silence of a thought considered and discarded. The silence of a door being locked, very quietly, from the other side. I nearly threw the phone, but its screen went dark, and in its black reflective surface I saw her. A ghoul with hollowed cheeks and wild vacant eyes. Smashing the phone would have been a relief, and I knew, with a certainty that chilled me, that I did not deserve one. I slid from bed. The floor was a sheet of ice. I began to walk, a caged animal's rhythm. From the window to the door, from the door to the window. Every object was a haunting. The scuff mark from his guitar, the armchair holding the ghost of his shape. I paced until the sky outside bruised into the sick purple of a reluctant dawn. This was the absolute zero of the soul. The next day, my life had become so meaningless I was watching a YouTube tutorial on restoring cast iron. And there, buried in the comments, a message in a bottle in a sea of digital noise from a user named Grit and Grace. It said, "This is random, but if the rust you're trying to scrub off is in your soul, a friend gave me this." He called it the 7-day field reset, a list of small, stupid physical tasks. It doesn't fix the big wound, but it's like battlefield first aid. It stops you from bleeding out right there in the mud, and there was a list. A strange, stark poem. The digital amputation. Block them. Everything. A ritual severance. The physical claim. Clean one small thing you both used. Make it yours. The sensory overload. Walk outside for 10 minutes. Find one beautiful thing. The biological reset. Go to bed an hour before you think you need to. The act of creation. Cook a meal you've never tried. The cognitive glitch. When the loop begins, name 5 things in the room that are green. Suck. The first anchor. The instant you wake, plant your bare feet on the floor. Feel it, stops you from bleeding out. I was bleeding out. Day 1. I sat on the edge of my bed and performed the ritual severance. His number? The map. Each tap of the block button was a small final gunshot. A wave of pure panic hit me, the terror of a ship cutting its own anchor in a storm. But then, a quiet, not the heavy, suffocating silence. A clean, sterile quiet. The quiet of a room after an exorcism. Day 2. The bathroom faucet. A small tarnished altar. I took an old toothbrush and scrubbed away the grimy residue of us. For 15 minutes, the world shrank to that circle of chrome. When I was done, sweating, I looked at it. Gleaming. It was the first light I'd made myself in weeks. Day 3. Leaving the apartment felt like stepping onto an alien planet. My only task was a koan, find something beautiful. The world was a smear of gray. But I looked, and I saw it. A single, perfect red leaf, caught in a spider web, glowing like a drop of blood on a silver thread. I realized I hadn't truly seen the world in a month. The next days were a strange pilgrimage of small duties. I went to bed at 9 p.m. and slept for 6 straight hours. I made a Thai curry he would have hated, and the fire of the chili on my tongue was a shock, a jolt of pure, present-tense life. The ghost thoughts still came, but when they did, he's with her right now, I would stop, my eyes darting. Plant, book, bottle, sweater, pillow. A spell to break the trance. This morning was day 7. My eyes opened to the familiar dread coiling in my gut. But I had my orders. Before my mind could form his name, I swung my legs over the side of the bed and planted my feet on the cold wood floor. I sat there, just feeling the grain, the solidness of the world beneath me. And the first thought that surfaced was so mundane it was a miracle. The floor is cold. I should get socks. Just now, making tea, I saw my reflection in the dark screen of the microwave, another black mirror. I didn't flinch. The dark circles under my eyes are still there, but the wild, haunted look is gone. In its place is a profound exhaustion, the quiet tired of a soldier after a long war. And for a flicker of a second, I saw the woman I was before the ice sculpture moved in. She's still in there, so if it's that soul-eating hour for you, and your thumb is hovering over a name that feels like a brand, stop. I am not healed. But that list gave my hands something to do other than dig my own grave. Put the phone down. Just for tonight. Tomorrow you can try day 1. It's a small, stupid thing. But it might be the first true thing you've done for yourself in a very long time.